Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And interesting, High Priestess energy right off the bat. That's a good one. We're going to put this into some context. I wonder, what is the secret that you have? I feel Spirit's telling me, I'm hearing, what's the secret? What's the secret? Very interesting. Four of Swords. You're not telling. You have something. You have something there that I feel you're not revealing. And we've got the World card, 7 of Wands, 8 of Cups. We've got the World. We've got a 5 of Cups, a Knight of Swords, a 9 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. Very interesting. Very interesting. I feel like there's something that you're not telling, because if I feel like if you you think that if you reveal it, if you say it, if you talk about it, then somehow it's going to make things worse, or it's going to put a stop to things, right? And I think that might be the opposite. I think revealing this is actually going to make things better rather than put a stop to something. Yeah. I feel like you've got a secret. We see a lot of other good energy here too. The ending with the 9 of Pentacles, having this World card here, I think is very, very good fortune. I think it's a very good omen. I feel like there is a big weight kind of being lifted from you. You know, I feel like there are some kind of restrictions that you feel on your life, on your progress, on kind of where you can go, what you can do, who you can be. I feel those limitations lifting, right? So I don't know if there's something going on with passports or with tickets or with money or something like that, where there's some sort of a hindrance to your traveling. I feel like that's gone. I feel like it's alleviating that. Okay, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we are just going to set down over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but you know, it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. Who's the nervous driver? I feel like there's someone that I almost feel you driving nervously away from something. And I have to say, drive carefully. Everybody, all the time, wear your seatbelt, drive carefully. But I feel like someone is a very nervous kind of driver, and I think you always have been. Maybe you don't like to drive, but you're kind of now having to do it more, and you still got that nervous energy about you. Anyway, if you have a prediction for the mystery card, put it down in the comments anytime during the show, all right? Let's see what you got. Let's do this interactively. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition, okay? All right, let's look around the room here. The first thing that I see is that we only have 2 major arcana energies. The World and the High Priestess. It's kind of like the High Priestess is holding on to the World, right? The arms are outstretched here. It looks like they're holding the World. And so in some ways, to me, this kind of feels like you've got the whole world in your hands, right? That you've got all of this potential right there above you, right? Just waiting for you. And I think that it really is... it's kind of one of those things where we're looking forward so much. Yeah. And we're fighting and we're struggling and we're suffering and we're pushing forward. But looking up, we see a wide open space. We see the stars, the night sky, right? Or we see the infinite blue sky. And to me, it kind of lifts us out of that struggle, right? I see there is this struggle, the emotions and the will down here. There is like water, fire, water. There's something that we're standing our ground for one, but there's kind of something that we're fighting for, or fighting against, perhaps. So we've got our major arcana. We've got a little bit of fire. We've got a little bit of water. We've got a little bit of air. And we've got a little bit of earth. So everything's very balanced, right? 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of this, 2 of that. A lot of pairs of cards here. So I kind of feel like we're canceling all of these things out in some ways, right? Like we're trying to match things up with each other. And it's interesting the way each card kind of becomes another card, right? We have the 4 of swords, which to me is kind of this idea of not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to stir things up, not wanting to talk about it, not revealing the secret or whatever it might be. And then we've got a Knight of Swords, and this is just like swift, kind of passionate, very willful and intentional conversation. And there might be an older male energy that you have to have this conversation with. So I feel like the air energy here, it really shows a development, right? The 4, but then it changes, it moves. We do it anyway. Okay. And then even with let's go to the water energy. We've got an 8 of Cups back here. This is a loss of hope. This is sadness. This is despair. We are distraught. We feel that our water energy, our divine energy, is draining out from us. The cups are emptying. They're half empty, and there's a crack and a leak in them, and the water's it's going, right? And we've got a 5 of Cups in the future position. The 5 of Cups says, change it, right? Change is happening. You have this, there is this fixed energy I feel right now, where it's just kind of like, this is my situation, and this is my lot in life. But it's not. It doesn't have to be. Your fate is always changing. And the 5 in the future position says, your feelings that we have back here, that 8 of Cups, those feelings are changing. Those feelings are going to change. But we've got to invoke this spiritual divine energy, the major arcana, and the fire energy. And that's how we make progress. Okay? But the emotions, how you feel, what you value in life is changing. Your fate, your acceptance of your fate is changing. So it's kind of like we don't like the situation we're in. We don't like how we feel. Let's embrace that change. Let's change it, really, in a very kind of cliched way. You don't like how you feel, change it. You don't like where you are, change it. Easier said than done, I know. But it is possible. But we have to get out of this idea of not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting things to change, really. We got to be the force of change sometimes. Sometimes Spirit is saying, change is happening now. You got to get on board, Sometimes the boat needs to be rocked. Sometimes that's the only way to wake ourselves up or to wake the boat up or whatever, And then we raise the sails and we can move on. Even when we look at the fire energy here, we see the 7 of Wands and we think underdog. We think we are fighting a losing battle. This is, this is us going against something that is a lot stronger than we are. And I think there's a certain secret in this card, though, because this is also you standing your ground. So there's a certain strength with you being able to maintain where you are right now. Now, we could be talking about a career thing, something at work, family thing, relationships, right? Something in the home, romance, something in your creative energy maybe, something in your overall life path, okay? There is a certain strength in sticking with it here and not giving up, right? Maybe we're not trying to force change. We're just kind of, it's like that silent strength, right? Of just kind of enduring what we are, where we are, who we are, and what's going on. You know, there's a certain strength in that. But there also is a time for us to move on. You know, that sometimes the greater strength here is to change the situation. I don't know how to put this into words really, but I feel like staying here and just pushing back against something just enough that it seems stable. There's something noble in that. There's something virtuous in that. Right? This is the card called Valor. And sometimes it's better to just go somewhere else, right? I think this is, it is standing your ground, but to me it feels like it's equal pressure. There's nothing moving. Yeah, a very strange feeling that I'm getting. But contrast that with the 9. The 9 of Wands is absolute strength. I mean, these two cards, they look similar but different, right? No longer the underdog. No longer just kind of enduring something with this silent strength. No, now we're rocking the boat. Now we have this confidence, this assertiveness, this strength in our environment that says, if I don't like the way things are going, I'm going to do what I have to do to change it, even if that means taking yourself out of the equation or, standing up for yourself or, you have to be, you got to be smart about it, right? And we'll talk about that. We've got to make the best decisions for our progress, but we're not the underdog. We're not weak, right? And this card really is all about strength. And this is the strength that comes from knowing yourself, connecting with that lunar energy. And what is the lunar energy? The High Priestess. High Priestess is connected with the lunar energy. So it is by listening to your gut, listening to your instinct, trusting in the divine, trusting in your spirit and soul and your connection with God, Goddess, deity. And so in some ways, this is kind of, maybe it's not exactly that you have a secret that needs to be revealed, but there is something that you're holding back. And maybe it's time now to don't hold it back, but manifest it, create it, go with it, embrace it, accept it. Yeah. There's something in your true nature that is being concealed. And it might really require a conversation, sure. But I think that there is a certain valor or, virtue in staying where we are and enduring a situation. But I think you're doing so at the expense of your happiness and of your success and of your true self. It could be that we're stuck in a job and we just feel like it's just, it means more for me to just stay here and endure it rather than speak up or leave or find something better. For some reason, there's something that says, almost like you're obligated to stay, right? Obligated to stay. And it could be a relationship, could be a family thing, romantic thing. But this is saying that you have to listen to that voice within you that's telling you that there's more. And this is that more, right? You look at the world card, the universe, the High Priestess is holding the universe. And this is the card, this is saying there is more there. There is more out there for you. Spirit's showing me like crystals or minerals. I don't know if it's, it kind of looks like my little one that I have here. I'm seeing one of those heart-shaped rose quartz crystals. I don't know if you have those or if you collect crystals or if there's one on your desk or near you at the moment. But I feel like that is, I feel like that's kind of radiating this kind of power. Now, what I notice, we have these matches of these cards, right? But they're still very much low on the tree, right? The highest we have is a 5. Everything else is, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want maybe this mystery card to be an ace of something, anything, right? Because I feel like we kind of have to get back. I almost wonder if the heart-shaped rose quartz is supposed to represent like an ace of cups, or even a 3 of cups. I could see that, and I wonder if that's kind of a symbol to you. I feel like it has some sort of a connection with you. I don't know if somebody gave it to you or if you have used it before in any kind of a, manifestation ritual or, some sort of worship or something like that. But I feel like it's close to you right now. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the world. Let's talk about the world. Where in the world do you see yourself in a week, a month, 5 years, 10 years? If you say right here where I am, I think you're still concealing something. There's still this, with that 4 of Swords, there's still that feeling of resisting change, of trying to not even acknowledge it, The World card or Universe card does talk about travel. It talks about movement. It talks about really no restrictions on that movement. There may be a feeling of restriction now, and this could really be a career that kind of feels like you've maxed out in this company that you're with, right? That it's kind of become a dead end. Maybe you have gotten promoted and everything, and now you're in a certain position, and there's really nowhere to go from there. There's no higher position in this context, but there is more for you out there, out here. But we kind of feel obligated to stay where we are. You've gotten to the top of this ladder. Maybe it was a really short ladder, right? There's more for you. And so Spirit's kind of showing the removal of obstacles and boundaries, kind of clearing the way for you. So I wonder if there is an opportunity that's kind of swooping in pretty soon to give you an opportunity now, like you're getting that chance to kind of to open up and to reveal whatever this kind of secret is, and to start climbing, to start going up to what really is meant for you next. I feel like this was an accomplishment, but it's just like, why stop here? This is kind of thinking small potatoes when there's so much more out there for you. Okay. So it's almost as if we've kind of accepted this as our limit, and this is kind of like we're fencing ourselves in, and we're just kind of saying, this is I'm going to stay here, whatever reason, whatever the situation. The Universe card is saying there are no borders here. There are no fences, except the ones that we kind of put up ourselves, right? There are no natural, there's some natural kind of boundary lines and stuff, but there are no distinctions as such in nature. You can't tell nature, hey, this is my property and you got to stay over there. Doesn't work that way. So I feel like this is kind of us being urged to reharmonize with nature, get back into the flow of this thing, and not, for whatever reason we feel we're stuck here, we're not. Okay, and there could be some sort of legal obligations or some sort of promise that was made. Maybe that's kind of what this 9 of Wands is also saying, that you made a commitment to this thing, And, I'm not one to advocate breaking promises. But sometimes we promise things, we commit to things, and over time, we come to realize that it's really not in our best interest. And I want to say, now this isn't going to be a very popular thing, but sometimes it's okay to break promises. Yeah, I said it. I don't think we want to. I think we try very hard to uphold and live by what we've committed to. But even at the expense of our own happiness, success, progress. I think you've done that, but when is this promise fulfilled? Maybe you've already fulfilled it. Maybe if you really think about it, it could have been done months ago, right? So let's look at that, because maybe we're not breaking a promise. Maybe that promise has been fulfilled, and it is time for you to continue on with your journey, okay? And what we see next, and this is kind of in the position of the obstacle, the difficulty. Maybe this is a situation that really is giving you a lot of coin, right? Because this is the obstacle that we have to get over. And it's a 10 of Pentacles, it's wealth, right? Maybe you're in a position now where it's very financially secure. Maybe this is like, this job where this is the most money you've ever made, right? Well, then why do we feel this way? Why is there this duality? Why is there this conflict? Why is there this suggestion of kind of breaking through, of progress, of transcending, right? So it could be that this is a situation that, yeah, maybe it pays very well, but you're not happy. It's not fulfilling or meaningful in any other way. Maybe these coins are empty. Maybe these pentacles are empty shells. Right, maybe. Maybe it's just a situation that says, yeah, this is the most money I've ever made. I don't want to leave here because what if I don't do anything that's going to bring me this kind of prosperity? Yeah. I think when we talk about our best life, and the 10 of Pentacles is always the card that represents your best life, the picture of your best life, right? And every time we get this card, I say, get out your pencil and your sheet of paper, draw a picture of your best life. I'm still waiting for you all to send that in to me, the pictures of your best life. And that reminds me that we finally, my wife and I, Ula Tea Leaf Readings, she does marvelous tea leaf readings on YouTube. We finally got a P.O. box set up. So if anybody does have anything that they would like to send in to either myself or my wife or to our shows, send me an email and I'll give you that P.O. box. I don't want to say it on the air or put it in a community post or anything because, then we'll be getting a lot of hate mail and spam and junk and advertisements and, all these sorts of things. Life insurance offers. I guess the system must think I'm pretty old because the only mail I ever get are like these life insurance, like sales, like advertising things. Anyway, the picture of your best life. What does that look like? You have this picture already somewhere in the back of your mind. Maybe it was a little note that you wrote yourself 20 years ago, right? Maybe this was something that you always wanted to accomplish for a long time. And now you're here, but it doesn't feel like you thought it would, right? So maybe you have what you thought was best life, right? But you got this water energy, just something doesn't feel right about it. So with the 4s and the 5s that we see, I forgot, when I said earlier we didn't have any, we have the 4, but we don't have an ace, or 2, or a 3, which is what I really would like to see here. I feel as if there is this fixed energy where it is, we have this ideal set up, and maybe you drew it in permanent pen. And then you get there, and it doesn't feel like we thought it would. It doesn't feel that great. It's okay. It's, maybe it's paying the bills, and maybe it is the most money you've ever made, but it doesn't really feel like anything. or it's starting to feel kind of bad, in fact. And I think it's because over time, our feelings and our beliefs, what we draw for our best life has to change. Nothing is written in stone. When we have a 4 and a 5, this to me says that maybe we didn't really change our beliefs or our values as we kind of grew into this situation. Okay? That maybe, it's kind of like somebody who's always using like a rotary telephone and just refuses to get a regular dial tone, whatever kind of telephone. Refuses to get the cordless telephone. You remember cordless telephones? Refuses to get a cellular phone or a smartphone or blah, blah, blah. Refuses to keep up with the changing times, even though they really hate the rotary phone. Every time they have to use the phone, they curse it. But they are refusing to change what they have or what they're doing or what they're aspiring to. And to me, it kind of feels the same way with change. That we're stuck in this thing for whatever reason, even though there are much better options out there. But for some reason, we don't like it where we are, but we don't want to do anything different either. It's a resistance to change. And anytime I see a 4, I think something's got to change, but you're resisting it. Okay? And then sometimes when I see a 5, I think you're forcing something to change that really shouldn't be changing. Yeah. So one's not better than the other, right? Either way, we're out of sync with the universe. We're not in harmony with the flow of change. But I think in this context, I think that something needs to change, but isn't. And so then we might have to nudge it a little bit, right? And if we nudge it, then we kind of dismantle, we erase a little bit of this 10 of Pentacles. Maybe we get our 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is the process. It's movement. It is us. This is our best picture of our best life that's always evolving. Every time you turn and look at it, it's a little bit different. And that's the way it should be. When you're in harmony with change, change isn't just something changed and then there's a period of nothing, right? And then another change and then silence. No, change is constantly happening. Sometimes there's these little peaks of change, these really novel moments where change is very significant, but it's a process that's always moving. Okay? And that's what the 9 of Pentacles is. It is the picture of our best life that's kind of always changing. We're always trying to stay in harmony with this. And this changes when our beliefs and our values, our heart and our mind change, when the environment changes, when spirit makes us acutely aware of something being off or different, either through synchronicities or through these, I think right now it's with feelings. By the looks of everything, it should be absolutely perfect, but it's not. Okay? And that's spirit sending you a message. Like on paper, this looks like the best life, but we're not feeling it. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Tiny Bob. I want to see a 6 of anything. A 6 of anything, or maybe the Empress. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. I'm thinking 6. I'm thinking we need that harmony. Let's see what we have. Nope, an 8 of Wands. Well, interesting. Now we've got 7, 8, 9 of Wands, and wow, that was interesting. That card kind of flew away. I think, and I think that was significant because I think the 7 is us standing our ground, feeling like we're being strong by staying put, and then the 8 is kind of like we're trying to redirect all of our forces toward being strong, but in a different way. See, this is strong that is, just trying not to get crushed by stuff. This is strong that's trying to make progress and grow, and there's nothing that's going to crush us anymore, We're not up against opposition. Now we are just kind of moving forward. So I think the 8 really is the bridge between those two. And it connects with the 8 of Cups. Okay. And I think it stems from us taking each of these feelings, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes in between, and converting them all to strength with intention, with connection with the divine, so that we can see the way forward and we can revise the picture of our best life and understand a little bit more about where we want to go from here. And I really think that those feelings are the motivators. The feelings are what Spirit is kind of sending you as fuel, really, for each of these wands. Yeah, each of these fiery javelins toward your future. Now, the Knight of Swords, again, I think that this is really opening up this conversation. It's kind of like one day you just kind of stand up and you start doing this. Suddenly you're taking all these cups and they're converted into javelins, and you're doing it, right? I am getting the feeling of an older male energy. And so I don't know if this is meant to be a father or grandfather, or if it's some sort of a boss or some kind of an older supervisor kind of person, or the owner of the company, something like that I kind of feel is, they feel like kind of an intense presence. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link that is up in the corner, or there's also one down in the video description. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I'm here every day, though. Just come on back, see me tomorrow. All right. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.